Hey everybody, today I had a great opportunity to sit down here with a bunch of CellMates. We talked about transitioning veterans. We talked about clients needing help like that. We talked about our 2024 strategic goals for Fusion Cell. This is how we're gonna win this year. Take a look. Jeremy Montgomery, 23 years between Air National Guard and active duty Air Force. Man, you had a lot of jobs. MO, Tops in Blue, engineering assistant, recruiter, and then you finished as a senior enlisted leader in recruiting. Man, what a great career, right?
It was a lot of fun.
All right, and you and I go way back, right? How many years has it been?
Over a decade now.
Over a decade. So we've had a chance to work together, in the military. And then as soon as I found out that you were, leaving out of the military, you were transitioning out. I don't remember if I reached out first or if you reached out to me, but as soon as I knew that you were on the market, I was like, man, we have to make sure that we pick up this guy. Above all, this is our next hire here at Fusion Cell. And I'm looking at you now, man. Recently promoted to Vice President of Government Services. What a ride it has been.
It's been exciting. And when you invited me here, it was completely on faith because I knew you were a winner and I knew if I attached myself to winning, I couldn't go wrong.
Well, it's funny. I felt the same way, so it's good. But skipping the pleasantries, right? Let's maybe dive into some business stuff. So in the last couple of years, man, we've brought in over 206 transitioning military professionals into the workforce. Man, what a ride it has been, right? What are your thoughts on that? 206 souls that we were able to help out.
Well, the way our brains operate is it's not enough, but it's really exciting to be a part of that. We're serving the community in which we came from, and that's our why, that's our mission, that's who we want to please, that's who we want to represent out here. And so we're just looking to double and triple and quadruple those numbers as fast as we can by providing meaningful employment with companies that really care about them.
That's right. I feel the same. So the three verticals that we target here in this organization, right? Construction division, manufacturing division, and the one that it's kind of your baby, right? Government services. Talk to me a little bit about that, right? We found a lot of success in the last, 3 years or so, particularly in your spot. So talk to us about how that was born and maybe a little bit about the future, what future holds for it.
Well, I think with government services, it just lended itself to have opportunities and employment that suited the military veteran and the military spouses. So we found opportunities. We had a little bit of early success, which gave us a reputation and led us into more opportunities. But when you do business with government contractors, you're doing things in lanes that veterans have talent for. And so I think it's inevitable that we're going to have a little bit of success with that. And my favorite part about the whole government services thing here at Fusion Cell is it's homegrown. We did all of this ourselves. You and I built this thing really just kind of out of grit and no quit.
That's right.
And kind of where we're going in the future with this is we've really been exposed to some really great mentors and great advisors here at Fusion Cell. We have an amazing leadership team, and we've been completely supported to go in this direction. So we're all in now. Every single day, we are going after opportunities that make sense for veterans and military spouses, and that's the future of this thing. We're going to grow it as big as we can.
Yeah. So there are two aspects, right? We always trying to have a message. One is to our potential clients, and one is to those candidates that are going to work for us. Take me through that lens for a second, particularly in government space, government contracting space, right? Government services. Because that's just the title we chose, right? It's government services. What does that really mean to a transitioning, military professional?
Well, I think what it means directly is that we have access to opportunity in that space. So if you've ever been interested in being a government contractor or working for some of the big government contracting companies, Fusion Cell's plugging themselves in to be a partner. We're a resource to them. In some aspects, they're asking us to find the talent, the pools that they live in, how much they're going to cost. Like we're an internal advocate for that team.
That's right.
For the veteran, for the candidate, for the military spouse. And so what I would love to say to them is that when you look at Fusion Cell, we're a recruiting agency, but we are a whole lot more to the clients that we serve, which means we're sitting inside the room when they're talking about you, when they're talking about who they want to find. And that makes a big difference.
Yeah, no, that's great. Try to target it, from both sides.
And I can speak to the client side a little bit too.
Do it, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, run with it.
With that question, how do we communicate to the clients out there about this talent pool? Well, in the government services side of thing, a lot of the prime contractors, subcontractors, and even the government agencies, they're aware of what military talent can do, but sometimes they don't even know where to find them. And that's where we come into. This veteran operated company, this small business is uniquely attached to all of that veteran talent. And we also are capable of translating what it is that they can do for you. We can tell you what the ROI is going to be before you even hire them. And then because of our access, we can deliver them right to their front door. So if clients are listening to this, or potential clients, or anybody needing talent or struggling with that particular aspect as a pain point in their business, you got to look at FusionCell.
Sure.
We're connected and we're ready. FusionCell solves talent acquisition issues in a myriad of different labor categories by utilizing veteran and military spouse talent.
Yeah, I love it. Let's pivot for a second into strategic relationships. You've been a huge proponent of, hey, listen, we got to talk to this company, we got to talk to that company, and meaning companies that are operating in a similar space like us here, right? Just like FusionCell. How would you say that those relationships, those partnerships that we have with other organizations, how do they enhance our mission?
Well, I think it's taken the community as a whole, where we're all trying to serve the military veterans and the military spouses out there. And each one of us has a thing that we're really good at. And instead of reinventing the wheel inside of another organization, for instance, let's use resumes as an example. There are organizations out there that are doing resumes for military veterans, and they're doing a great job, and there's no reason for us to reinvent that in-house. So we find them as a strategic partner, but what we're finding, it's a lot more than just a partnership. We're actually serving the community in a much greater way. We're not taking away from them, they're not taking away from us. We're enhancing the community as a whole, and we're doing what we talk about, which is serve our community with our community.
That's right. So I want to give you a quick opportunity to maybe say thank you to some of these companies, because I know every single day we're super busy, we're running with things, but you're right. It's a collective game, right? And we have some phenomenal partners. We have some great individuals that are helping us move forward. Maybe you just want to name a few and just say thank you to them while we have the opportunity to get this thing recorded,
Yeah, while you're asking me that, my Rolodex is just
your
running.
Head's gotta be spinning.
A couple that just come out of the top of my mind, and not to leave anybody off, but just top of mind. Peter Klein, Boots to Books. Really love what they're able to do and how they complement us. Hire Our Heroes, one of our first partnerships where they started to deliver candidates to help us out. I think that's amazing. Vets to Industry, you guys are incredible. I love what you guys are doing with the networking side of the house. And there's just a bunch of them that go on down. Operation New Uniform, all these people that I'm connected to, and we spend a lot of time promoting their platforms as well. So in short, thank you.
That's solid. No, that's great. Is there anything that we want to maybe plug in here? Since we have an opportunity, right? Like there's no time limit. Is there anything that you want to address, or maybe something that you've been thinking, hey, I really got to talk about that?
Yeah, I'd like to speak directly to government contractors and primes and subs to sort of get that piece.
So if you are a company that's in government contracting space and you have not utilized a staffing agency, maybe you don't understand how we operate, maybe you don't understand the value that we are bringing, but you would love to have a quick conversation with us. Where do they go? What do they do? Or, let's give them a quick what's our shameless plug?
Well, our shameless plug is we are really good at supporting the labor category needs of every government contractor out there in a myriad of categories. So whether it's supply chain and transportation, airfield management, construction and civil engineering, maintenance type stuff, aviation, FusionCell is plugged directly into the talent that you're already looking for. The people that we work with on the candidate side of the house, they innately have all of the core values that you're looking for, and they have the hard skills and capabilities of doing that work. When you work with an agency like us that's directly connected to the military, and we're also from the military, we know what you need as a deployment manager. We know what it's like to send these folks into the areas that you need them, and we're really well experienced in it, and we have great past performance. So I would tell them that it doesn't cost anything to put us to work for them, but the results will be a huge return on their investment.
I love it. Couldn't agree more. Last question. What is your favorite and kind of maybe a dear to your heart thing about FusionCell?
Oh man, I bet I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I know there was people in here before me. It's 100% our culture.
Okay.
Everybody has a voice. Almost everybody here, no matter how new they are, have already implemented something that is added to the fabric of who the DNA is of this company. I love the fact that we can all speak freely, that we can hard charge for the veterans out there, that we're not talking nonsense, that we are really actually talking about you, the transitioning service member and military spouse, all the time. That's my favorite part, is we're staying true to our one thing, which is serving that community. Well, people bring on Fusion Cell as a partner to what they're trying to do in terms of talent acquisition or finding labor categories, because we're connected and we're ready. We know how to deploy these people. We know what certifications and requirements the government has levied on you as a contractor, and we know how to speak that language. Fusion Cell's connected and ready to go, and you got to get us on the team.
Why don't we give them an example? The one we utilized, let's say, last year.
Yeah, let's use two examples,
Sure.
because I love the dynamic that it comes into it. So the U.S. government levied a short notice requirement on a myriad of contractors, and these contractors had a chance to respond to it. This was activity in the Black Sea region, and they basically needed 40 people in 14 days. And everybody said no, because it wasn't possible. Like, it just didn't make a lot of sense to ask that and then make a commitment that you could deliver.
Sure.
What ended up happening is the opportunity got passed down to us, and because Fusion Cell is connected and ready, we said yes. And we freaked out a little bit. How are we going to do this? But I remember calling you specifically and saying, hey, we've got this opportunity. These are the kind of people that we needed to find. Long story short, to skip all of the effort and the late nights, we delivered 40 people in 17 days into the Black Sea region, and that contractor was able to meet the government mission. We were able to augment military activities with military veterans. Almost every single person that we sent was a military veteran, and it was really incredible. Because of that reputation led to a very recent operation as well. We all know what's going on in the Middle East and abroad, and there was a brand new contract that came on board that required several different skill sets, and guess who they called? They called us.
That's right.
And we delivered almost a person a day for 30 days.
Yeah.
And was able to close out that requirement, meet the government's needs, and get that mission online.
Love working with you, brother. I hope we get the chance to do this for many, many more years.
I think we're in for many decades of this if we want it.